Hope you're all well. I just wanted to bring you guys a video on how to find your style, how I found my style, and then how I incorporate it into my own clothing brand called Luluna. I'm going to start off with how I found my style. So I have found that I have always loved denim for one. As you can see, I am repping the double denim today, which is actually a really cute look. So I've always been a jeans girl ever since I was younger. I'd always be running around with the horses in jeans and all that shebang. Honestly, I remember wearing jeans like every day when I was a kid. Even if it was like summer, I'd be like, jeans. So there's little things like that, like I've always liked jeans. I remember when I was really young, me and my sister used to match our outfits together because obviously being the little sister, I always wanted to copy her. So we used to wear a lot of like black and white or brown and white, a lot of brown and white. And I remember thinking, this is my style. But as you grow up, you know, you try different things and all that. But when it comes down to it, I've actually gone back to the style I loved the most when I was like 6 years old. So I think that has a lot to say about when it comes down to style and finding your true style. You always have a gut feeling and you should always look out for that, because at the end of the day you can try out everything but you're going to come back to the true style that you love. I love the Canadian tuxedo look, where you basically wear, if you had like this buttoned up and then I took it into my jeans, it's double denim. I love cowboy boots, I love fringes, I love Aztec print. Oh, that's another thing. I used to love like the indie Aztec vibes when I was like 14. I was obsessed. I remember seeing all the things on Tumblr and being like, that is my shit. I love that. So I feel like I've incorporated these little things like boho style, Aztec-y style, indie style I guess, and Western all together, where it's not screaming in your face but it's like little details. I mean, honestly, I'm literally exempling that today. I'm wearing denim, where double denim, but where it's not too much. I've left my shirt unbuttoned with a top underneath. Then I've got some layered necklaces for like the boho vibes. I also have some like colourful bracelets on. My tattoos are quite in sync with my fashion sense, I would like to think. So yeah, over years I have tested out so many different styles. If you go back on my Instagram, you will see I have been through every style you can name. Honestly, the only style I don't think I did properly was like gothic. I think I did it for like a night with my friend in year 7 and we were like, yeah, this is not for us. And my mum was also like, you can take all that makeup off right now. But yeah, so I have tried like every style, and honestly it's kind of embarrassing to look back on, but I feel like you have to do it. I used to think I was such a little fashionista, and to be fair, I'm gonna give myself a bit of slack, because I was a little fashionista. I didn't always look good though. I thought I looked good all the time. Sometimes I just really didn't look good, but you have to go through it, you have to try it and just test things out and see what works for you, because at the end of the day, you don't know until you try. I've literally gone through the whole colourful summer girl Insta vibe, super fashionable fashion week girl vibe. Like you name it, I've probably done it. And I think there's always something inside me that's been like, I love doing this and I love dressing up and like almost following a trend or being colourful, but deep down I always wanted to just be me. And I know that sounds like really cliche, but generally that's how I've always felt. And I remember, like, to this day I have 2 Instagrams because I never wanted to give up on like the colourful Lou side, because I'd worked so hard on like creating her, and I know that sounds really cringe, but like I had really been inspired by so many Instagrammers and shit like that and YouTubers, and I found a perfect preset that I used on my Instagram that was like summer girl vibes. And I remember I followed this girl called Yanni Delaire for years and I was obsessed with her, and I ended up like matching her style with like the presets and stuff, but doing it in my own way. And then I got to that point and I was like, okay, now I'm like, I just want to be me. So I think it's good to test things out, and I'll never regret that. But yeah, at the end of the day, you're always going to come back to who you are. Keeping to a palette, I think the best way to have a good style is making sure you have a palette. So mine at the minute, I would say, okay, let's say denim, and then white for like tops and t-shirts, what others? Brown and black. So I have 4. So I literally try and keep to those. Or when I say brown, it could be like a burnt orange, something that kind of matches it. And then, yeah, it almost, you're not all over the place then, you have your colour palette and you know what to go for. It's also easier to shop when you go shopping because you're like, I know my colours, I know what works well with me, and I think those things work well with me, so that's what I have. And also, it's just my go-to style. So you really need to find that and also just try out different colours and see what matches your skin tone and what you feel best in, because at the end of the day, an outfit is only good when you feel good in it, because that's when it's really working. I also think if someone was to ask me, have I got a clean girl aesthetic or a messy girl aesthetic, I would be a messy girl aesthetic. I think a clean girl aesthetic is very like Matilda Jar and very like polished and, you know, pink. I'm quite the opposite. I will have messy hair that's half brushed and I won't have my roots done properly, and I just love that kind of edgy, messy, you know, half done girl vibe. So that definitely incorporates into it, because I would not say I'm a sleek burn polished girl. I also think it's because I'm a little bit lazy, but I'm a girl who doesn't really care about making too much effort, but knows that I can still look good with a cute outfit on without having to do my hair all nice every day. So yeah, I think that definitely incorporates into it. How I incorporated my personal style into a clothing brand. So I have always wanted to be a fashion designer ever since I was a young girl, and I think I really had to do the whole trying out different styles and being a colourful Lou, being a fashionista Lou, being a travel girl Lou, and then I had to really come down to my true style and almost have an end to an era then, because I can't now go back, not that I want to. And don't get me wrong, I might want to play around with colours every now and then, but at the end of the day I have to come down to my true self, especially when I have a clothing brand now. And yeah, so I basically have always known I've wanted to be a fashion designer, and I went to university and studied creative direction for fashion, so that really gave me a really good insight into building a brand and the aesthetic around it and how to almost bring the vision to life in every category, if that's from the website, if you had a fashion show, if you had a store, if you have an Instagram account, and like I feel I'm very good with that, and I feel I've done a very good job at bringing that to life. Clothing brand Luna is basically for the woman on the go who loves a Western boho style. It's the perfect balance between Western and Bohemian without screaming in your face that you're wearing Western or Bohemian clothes. It's literally the perfect balance of an everyday wardrobe that you can change into different looks over time. It's a timeless wardrobe and I am so proud of it. It is so good. I haven't actually launched a website yet, but I can see everything on it, and we have taken a very long time to get this perfect. I originally launched it in 2020 and I was a lot younger then. I had an idea, I'd been working on it for like a year then, and it just wasn't as good as it could be. I felt like I had to rush it because I wanted to start a brand when I was like 20 and everyone was doing it at COVID times, and I was like, I've had this plan all along, and then I felt like I had to rush it and I did, and then honestly I just shouldn't have rushed it. So it didn't really work very well. It looked good and all that, and I also wasn't mentally in a good place. I was just going through some stuff, and you can't really put out a brand if you're not feeling yourself. You can't, like you know, my glass was half full. There was just no chance it was gonna work. So we're relaunching this year, and I've been saying this on and off for the longest time ever, and I've learned, just shut up, Lou. Just don't say when you're launching because things always come up. Don't tell people you're launching until you know, like 2 weeks before, because there's no point. So basically, I'm getting sidetracked. I have built this clothing brand with Jordan. He also owns part of the company because he's worked so hard on it for me. He's done all the photo shoots, he's done the videos, he's done the editing, he's done the website. He's basically done everything. That boy has honestly smashed it with Luluna, and honestly I'm so proud of him for helping me with it. So yeah, it's my dream come true. It's the next big thing, I honestly believe. Like honestly, deep down, I know that it's going to do well. It's such a good collection of clothes, it's such an amazing brand, and I can't wait for you all to see it because I really think the Western style is also coming through more this year with the whole Beyonce kickoff with the country music, but I think it's always around. Actually Bohemian style as well, but honestly having it as that perfect balance is great. So I don't want to tell you when it launches, but I will tell you go follow the Instagram and the TikTok because then you'll get, oh, or you just go on the site because that is up at the minute and then sign up and you'll get an alert. I think timeless fashion is a big part of my brand, my style, and I think everyone should incorporate that into their everyday look. Honestly, fast fashion is just, it's just ruining the planet, and it's also shit. It's so shit, the quality is shit, no one wants it, so build a timeless wardrobe that's gonna last you years, that isn't gonna run out of style, all that, you know. Okay, so people who I personally follow for style inspiration, I'm just gonna like put a few pictures up because I can't think off the top of my head of everyone, but I know I love Kendall Jenner's like 2014-15 style. I honestly think it's so iconic when her and Gigi, and Gigi Hadid, when they used to like walk down the streets of Beverly Hills and they had the best style. It was like westerny, boho style. That era was honestly the best, and I almost want to bring that into my brand forever because I just absolutely adore that style. Who else? Who else do I follow? This picture of Pamela Anderson is honestly so iconic. It's from the 90s and she looked so cute, so I saved that. From 1992, guys. Oh, Pamela Tik. I love her style as well. It's just very wild, very cool girl. Another thing I wanted to say is structure. Structure is so key when it comes to styling pieces. So if I was going to wear a pair of baggy jeans and I wanted to wear a t-shirt and a jacket, I would wear baggy jeans as the baggy item, and then I would wear a t-shirt with a high neckline or a top like this, because if you wear a t-shirt with a loose neckline, like a lot of t-shirts do have, and then you're wearing necklaces that a lot of the time pull down, like that's not cute. And then if I was to wear a jacket, I wouldn't wear like a baggy shirt as well, because then you have a lot of looseness and it just doesn't look very nice altogether. If you styled it differently, it could look really good, but you've got to outweigh the bagginess with structure to get a good balance of both, I would say. I hope that makes sense. So I would style it up with a high neck t-shirt or one with quite a structured neckline, which if you really want a good t-shirt, guys, go to Luluna because we have the best t-shirts. I kid you not, the best necklines ever. I'm obsessed, and I'm not just being biased. I'm going to show you a top right now. This one needs to go in the wash, but look at the neckline on this. And it's like, it's not too low down, it sits quite high up, it's nice and thick, it really holds well. So yeah, structure is key. If you're going to get a blazer, invest in a good blazer. You don't have to spend loads, but I have got ones from H&M for £20 and they just don't have any structure and they just kind of flop when you wear them. But if you get a good one, a little bit more expensive, could still be an H&M, but has maybe a slight shoulder pad, or it's just a little bit thicker, or cinches in at the waist, just something that doesn't just, you know. I think structure is key. Same with jeans. Get a good pair of jeans. T-shirts, honestly, are key for this. I honestly think like the Luluna t-shirts are the best. And I know I'm biased because it's my brand, but I'm not kidding you. So good. I wear a normal t-shirt sometimes and I'm like, ugh. So it just doesn't look the same. So yeah, another thing I want to add into this is structure. I also feel like I want people to know what my style is. I want people to know it's Western boho style because that is my identity at the end of the day. My style is my identity. So I always like to incorporate little things that if I'm not wearing a super Western bohemian style outfit, I still want to have a subtle touch of it, which I will show you. That could be from literally adding on a bandana onto your bag, or wearing a pair of sunglasses that have a little bit more of an edgy frame to, you can't even see because I haven't put them on my face. I also have another pair of sunglasses which are a little bit more like 70s style, which I absolutely love. I love a good pair of sunglasses. I actually just bought a new pair today, so but yeah, or a key ring. Yeah, having little touches of things, if that's either through your jewellery, through an accessory in your bag. I literally have like little bracelets like this. Yeah, I think you should always have a little bit of a touch of it, not too much, but just keep it simple. Where people can look at you and go, ah, I know her style, but it's not screaming it in your face. I don't walk around in cowboy boots and a western belt. Oh, that's another thing, a western belt. Another thing is a western belt, which I absolutely love, and I've been wearing them for years. It's a piece that I never go without, she says, as I'm not wearing one. But I wouldn't wear a western belt that's like really chunky. I wear like a thin one, and then if I'm gonna wear like western boots, I would wear ones that aren't too obvious as western boots. I wouldn't like double up on the western vibes too much, because it can get a little bit, you know, get a bit too much. Going back onto inspiration to find your style, I think mine comes a lot from films. When I was younger, when I was like 18, I got a job in Coyote Ugly, and I worked on a bar and I danced on a bar, and I absolutely loved it because you got to wear like cowboy boots and fishnet tights and little denim shorts and a cowboy hat, and honestly I was just living my best life. So just like little things like that are just, they build up into who you are at the end of the day and your style. And yeah, so I hope you guys got some inspiration from this, and I hope this video wasn't too all over the place, but yes, that is how I found my style and how I then incorporated it into my clothing brand Luluna, which is going to be so fucking good, and I can't wait for you all to see it, so stay tuned.